Hey, welcome to Money Mondays. I hope you all are having a fantastic Monday. Come on in, we're getting started. Let me make sure I got my ducks in a row. Don't touch anything because you don't want it to break. Tonight's Money Monday, I'm going to be talking to the seniors, right? So you're graduating high school. What next, right? It's coming up fast. So I want to give you some options, some things to think about that are really going to help you in this life journey. I know for me, it's such a hard time right now because you're in such a big life transition that you're probably kind of scared. Hey, Candy. Welcome to Money Mondays. You're probably kind of scared. You're probably kind of unsure. Maybe your friends are getting a lot of scholarships and they know what they want to do, right? And you don't. That's okay. That's 100% normal. So I'm going to be talking to you guys tonight about what's to come. What are some things you can do next to really make sure that you maximize this time that you have and hopefully give you some clarity so that the next steps of your journey are as less bumpy and as stress-free as possible. Okay, so come on in. We're going to let people join. We're going to let people hop on. Like I said earlier, we're talking to the seniors. I see some people. Let me start wiggling this first of all so you guys can stop shaking. And I just can't see who's on here. So I see that I have a couple people, but come on in. We're going to be talking to the seniors tonight. Feel free to drop any advice that you have down in the chat. I know they would want to see that. They want to read those comments. So any advice that you have for graduating seniors right now, any advice that you have for people who are moving to that next level of their life right now, put those in the chat because if we can help one or two people miss some of those pitfalls that we missed, that will help tremendously. Okay. All right. It's 9:00. Let's go ahead and get started. So it's your senior year. You just probably went to prom. I've been seeing the prom pictures all over my timeline. And you're probably trying to figure out what's next, right? What do I do now? I'm at that weird stage where I'm an adult, but I'm not really an adult. I don't know what's going on, but I kind of know what's going on. I think I know what's going on. So what are some of my options? The first thing that I need for you to know is, before we get into it, let me give you some background about me. So coming up, I graduated high school. I was a terrible middle school student. I was an okay/good high school student. And then in college, I kind of found my footing. I rocked out. So I went to undergrad. I went to a local school in St. Louis called Harris Stowe. It's a state college, HBCU, very popular, well known. A lot of students in that area, in the St. Louis area, go to that organization. And I finished my bachelor's degree. It took me some years to finish. I think it took me 6 years to finish because I would go, then I would stop, and I would go, then I would stop. And then probably my last 4 years, I said, listen, I don't want to be 10 years getting a bachelor's degree. So I really buckled down. And then from there, I went to Lindenwood and got my first master's in communication, business communication. And then I got my MBA. And so it was a whirlwind, right? Because I'm graduating. I don't know what's going on. I wanted to go to fashion school and that kind of didn't pan out like I wanted to. All of these people in my school, my friends, they're getting all this scholarship money. They know what they want to do. They want to be doctors. They want to be lawyers. And I'm just I don't know. Right. So I told you that story to tell you this. You absolutely need to have a plan. Okay. You need some idea of what it is that you want to do, right? What the next year looks like, what the next 3 years looks like, what the next 5 years look like. Now, I know that it doesn't seem like that's that far away, right? It seems like that's way off. I'm just 18, 5 years is not that long away. Time moves so fast. And I'll give you an example. Think about your siblings or your little cousins or your nieces and nephews or whoever. They were 6 months last week and now they're literally 10 and 11 years old. That's how you can gauge how fast time is moving. Okay. So you really need to start planning now on what you want to do, what your plan is so that you're not caught out here without your coat. Right. You want to start prepping now as well. So whatever it is that you want to do, and I'll get into that in a second, whatever it is that you want to do, start prepping now because now is the pivotal time where you still have the support of your parents. You're probably going to get some money for graduation, and you need an idea of what it is that you want to do. Okay. The next thing that I want you to figure out is your lane. Just because everybody is going to college, that does not mean that that's for you, right? Maybe you want to go get a trade. Maybe you want to go get a certification. Maybe you want to get licensed for something. Maybe you want to start your own business. Maybe you've already started your own business. Whatever it is, college is not the only avenue that you can take. Trades are taken back off. Certifications are taken back off. And I just want you to know that your only option is not college. If you weren't a strong student, that may not be the best option for you. So figure out your lane and then stay on it. I don't care what nobody else is doing. Stay in your lane, because the last thing that you want to do is go to school for 4 or 5 or 6 years, like in my case, spend over $100,000 and then not even use your degree, right? You're like, why did I get this? I knew I want to be a hairdresser. So know your lane and stay in it. Now, if you're undecided, like I said, that's okay. That's fine. But you really want to focus on not breaking the bank right now. So if you know you don't know what you want to do, don't go to an expensive 4-year university that's going to cost you $35,000, $40,000, $50,000 for your first semester, your first year. Don't do that. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your parents' money. Don't break the bank if you're undecided, because that's money that's wasted. Okay. Like I said earlier, look into alternatives. So if you want to be a barber, be a barber. If you want to be in construction and you want to start flipping houses, right? You don't need a lot of money to do those things. If you want to be a mechanic, if you want to go to culinary school, if you want to be a pastry chef, do that. But look into alternatives. College is not the only alternative. There are a lot of schools where you can go, or not necessarily schools, but like trades where you can go and be an apprentice for however many years and get there. So college is not your only option. Now, this is big over in the UK, and a couple years ago, one of the Obama girls did this, and it was like a big hurrah here in the United States, but it's taking a gap year. And what that means is you basically take a year off. Maybe you do some traveling. Maybe you do some volunteering. It's basically an opportunity for you to find yourself, to figure out what it is that you want to do. Take a year off, right? You don't immediately have to go into the workforce. You don't immediately have to go to college. Take a year off and figure it out. Now, I'm not saying take a year off and sleep 10 hours a day. I'm not saying take a year off and hang out with your friends and be idle and play the video game and do it, whatever. I'm saying take a gap year and figure out what it is that you want to do. Maybe you want to join the Peace Corps, right? And go to a third world country and volunteer. That's an option. Maybe you want to take a gap year and go stay with your grandmother that lives in Mississippi and help on her farm. I don't know, right? But a gap year is an option for you. Now, let's say that you do, like, you're kind of on the fence. Maybe you were an average student. You were an okay student. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a community college or a local college. Don't let these people lie to you. I'm going to tell you a story. So, like I said, I went to Harris Stowe. Harris Stowe is in St. Louis City, okay? Right around the area of Harris Stowe is another very big, very expensive Catholic school called SLU, St. Louis University, okay? So one summer, I'm minding my own business, as I do, and I'm taking summer classes because I'm trying to graduate, right? I'm probably in my 5th year, so I'm like, I need to get out of here. So I'm taking summer classes to get my credits so I can leave and graduate. And it's all these students that I've never seen before. And they were clearly, Harris Stowe is a predominantly black school. So there was a lot of diverse students, a lot of Asian students, a lot of white students, some students from other countries. And I'm like, what are they doing in this math class? They were coming to Harris Stowe to take classes from the same instructors I was learning from so that they could get the credits and transfer them to SLU, and it was cheaper. Okay. So do not let anybody make you feel bad for going to a community college. Do not let anybody make you feel bad for going to a local school. If you want to go to a local school and stay in your hometown and get your education, that's your choice, right? And if they're not paying for it, we don't listen to people who don't pay for stuff. Okay. Now, this is for the parents. You know your student, right? You know your child. You know the type of student they are. You know their personality. You know if they're ready. If they're not ready, don't force them. right? Don't force them to go to school. We see it every year. So it's a running joke at universities away from home, like some of the larger universities where you have people that come for the first semester and then they drop out. And now they owe all this money because they weren't ready, right? Maybe they weren't ready mentally. Maybe they weren't ready emotionally. Maybe they just weren't a strong student and they didn't have the educational discipline that was needed to really navigate that space, but they weren't ready and now they owe all this money. So if they're not ready, don't force them. If you know you're not ready to leave, if you know you're not ready to pick a major and and start taking classes, then don't do it. Okay. Another option that you can do while you're figuring it out is to start a side hustle. Okay. A side hustle is going to help you start earning money. It's an alternative to getting a job. Maybe you don't need a full-time job. Maybe you don't want a full-time job. Maybe you're good at social media and you want to try your hand out at social media and you want to be a social media manager. That's an option. Okay. Hey, Don, welcome to Money Mondays. Hey, Tash, welcome to Money Monday. Okay. So start a side hustle. And after you start that side hustle, you need to learn how to manage your money. Somebody made a post on Facebook last week and they said, is $1,000 a week enough to live on? And my response to that is there's so many factors that go into that. And the number one factor on my list, I gave like 10 factors that go into that statement and that question is, can they manage money? If you can't manage $1,000 a week, if you can't manage $10,000 a week, $100,000 a week is not going to mean anything. Okay, so you need to know how to manage your money, how to manage what's coming in, what's going out, what bills you need to pay, so on and so forth, as you're navigating this new adult space. Because this is the time where you can make mistakes, but baby, when you're 27 and 28, nobody is not going to care that you didn't pay your bills. Okay, you're going to be sleeping on the street. So start learning to manage your money now so that you can create a strong foundation for yourself moving forward. Now, let's say you do decide to go to college. So now we're talking to the college students. You're graduating from high school. You've chosen your college. You know where you're going. Get your priorities together, right? College can be everything that you want, right? But your priorities have to be in order. Why are you going to school? Are you going to school to find a mate? Are you going to school to party? Are you going to school to just get in nonsense? Why are you going? Get your priorities in order before you start spending your money. Because I'm going to tell you what, hey, Janelle, those college professors, they do not care. And you've been hearing this all senior year. Those college professors do not care about anything. Baby, they got their money already. They don't care if you come or not. Okay. So you have to have your priorities in order so that you're not wasting your money. Okay. Let's talk about savings. So when kids go to school, they're going to need a savings. This is the time, if you're headed to school in the fall, to start stacking your savings because it's going to get cold up there wherever you are. And I don't care if you're in Miami. Hunger strikes everywhere. So start getting your savings together so that you're able to really afford your lifestyle and afford college when you get there. Now, there is a trick that a lot of colleges and universities use, okay? What they do, and this is according to my husband, he went to Mizzou. So what they do is they send you a bill while you're at home, and that bill is manageable. And he's told me about this bill trick a million times, and I asked him to tell me again tonight. He said they send you the bill so that you can dot your I's, but they don't show you the T, right? So a couple weeks after your senior or your student or the graduate is starting college, then they call them down to the office and they say, oh, you got to pay this bill. And it's like a $4,000 bill, $5,000 bill, however much, and you have to pay it by next week or you got to leave. So be prepared for that bill. The point of this story is to know what your financing and your billing looks like going into it so that you're not hit with a gut punch of this very high bill that nobody wants a $3,000 bill. I don't care how much money I got. I don't want a high bill. So you want to be prepared going in so that you know that this is a possibility and it's something that they do in order to get students there who really want to go and then keep them there. Okay. So beware of that bill trick. Now's the time. I said this a couple weeks ago that you want to start applying for those scholarships. It's not too late. If you have not been applying for scholarships, that's okay. What's yours is yours and what's not yours is not yours. So it doesn't matter if you apply for the scholarship the day before it ends. If it's yours, it's yours. So start applying. Let's talk about universities versus community colleges and local colleges. I kind of talked about that already, but it's nothing wrong with going to a community college until you figure it out. Why not go to a local school where you can get those prereqs out the way? You can get those general classes that everybody has to take, the science and the chemistry or science lab and the English and the foreign language and all of that out the way before you get into your major classes. Usually people don't start taking classes in their major until their third or fourth year, their junior or their senior year. So get those out the way at a local college, a local community college, maybe a smaller school. Get those out the way there, but make sure that they'll transfer. Okay. Now, where to buy books? Books is a scam. I'm sorry to say, it's a scam. They are hundreds of dollars and you will almost never recoup your money. So some of the sites that you can visit is Amazon, of course, and then Google the ISBN. Now, when I was in college, I did that, and lo and behold, I found international versions of the book. And usually the international versions of the book are like a third of the price. So if you have a $200 book, I'm talking about $60 for the book. It's soft covered, so it's not hardcover, and it's usually in black and white. Most of my classes, I took marketing for undergrad. And so most of those books, some of them were mostly black and white, but on the really important pictures, they were in color. But that's an option for you to purchase books. And I think the websites to go to is like abebooks.com, abebooks.com. I don't know if it's still around. I don't know if they're still selling the international versions, but check out those websites. Just Google the title of the book, the ISBN, the UPC, or whatever is on the back of the book, and see if you can find the international version, and you're going to save yourself some money. Okay. Let's talk about expenses. So if your student is going away, or if you're going away for school, you can, thank you, Molasses. Welcome to Money Monday. You can expect to pay you can expect living expenses between $150 to $1,000 a month. Okay. I said $1,000 a month. I didn't go away to school. I went to a local school in my area for all of my degrees. And so I don't know what it is, but I said $150 to $1,000 depending on where you live, right? If you're in like a small little college town, you probably won't need $1,000, but you definitely will need money to buy your toiletries, buy food. If you wait too late to go to the cafeteria or the quad or whatever it is. So that's kind of in the range where you can expect to pay between $150 and $1,000. Now, of course, when you get there, you might say, oh, I don't need $1,000. I only need $300 a month. And that's fine. But I'm just trying to prep you so that you're not surprised. Okay. You are most welcome, Whitney. Welcome to Money Mondays. Yes. Well, yes. Share this video with her because she can get some nuggets from this. Now, when you get to college, I know you're having a great time. And this is where the credit card companies come in. Okay. They will give you t-shirts, water bottles, keychains, basically trash, to get you to sign up for a credit card. And they will give you the highest limit you've ever seen. This is not the time to take that credit card and go to the mall and act like you don't have good sense. This is the time to really stop and think, do I need this credit card? The answer is probably no. A lot of people rack up a lot of debt in college. Okay. So if you're a parent and you're watching, consider getting your kid a secure credit card. They will be building their credit. And yes, you'll have to pay the $350, the $500, the $1,000 up front, but that's going to be their max on their credit card. And that's all they can spend. And if they spend that money, that's it, right? They're going to take that deposit that you put down and pay the bill, and that's it. And they're not coming back home at the end of 4 years or at the end of the year with $10,000 in credit cards. Now, college debt is not like this phantom of a thing that people just complain about, and it really doesn't exist. I personally still have student loans. My husband paid off his student loans a couple of years ago. I've been paying off mine, but not really, but they are a major problem. And that's why people are so upset. So this is why I'm being so adamant about you knowing what it is that you want to do, is because you may walk away with a $30,000 student loan bill. And by the time you've paid off like $100,000. Okay. So college debt is not a joke. They're going to give you the money. they're going to give you the money to pay for school. Even if you get into Harvard, they're going to give you the money at 18, 19 years old before they give you $100,000 to buy a house, before they give you $100,000 to start a business, because it's this debt game. So you have to be sure that that's what you want to do. You have to have a discipline when you're choosing your major so that you don't go into your education with a real general broader study like I personally did. But you need a discipline that's going to help you make the money. So look into IT. You don't need a degree for IT. Maybe IT certificates. That's going to help you if you want to get into IT. But find a discipline and be serious about the debt that you're taking out. Don't take out unnecessary money because it's going to catch up with you. Now, I talked about earlier having your priorities together. You have to be responsible because nobody's going to be waking you up seeing if you went to class. Nobody's going to be checking how many classes you skipped. No, your counselor is not going to be calling home like, hey, Nakia hasn't been to school all week and it's Friday. They're not doing that. They don't care. So you have to be responsible, doing what it is that you need to do, having your priorities together, getting up, going to class, doing your assignments, being serious about your future because nobody is really going to care except your parents. And it's really nothing they can do. So you really have to be responsible. Let's talk about college swag. I know you want to look good. My advice to you is nobody has seen your clothes really there at school. And if you absolutely feel like you need to buy something new so that you can look nice, you could have the confidence, you could feel all swagged out. Hopefully I don't sound like an old lady. Try the thrift store. I personally bought this jacket from the thrift store. 90 to 95% of my wardrobe is thrifted. I bought so many stuff with tags still on it. Like you try the thrift store. Okay. You don't have to go to the mall every time you want to go somewhere. You don't have to go shopping every time you go into an event. Try the thrift store and shop your closet. Parents, senior students with non-perishable items, canned goods, chips, protein bars, that type of thing, detergent, sanitary items, personal items, all of that. Put that in the trunk for them so that they can have that throughout the semester. And then that way they take some of the anxiety off when you're starting to get ready. Don't wait until August to start getting these things. Get these things now so that, thank you, Di. She said I sound like an old lady. Get these things now so that when the time comes, you can be ready. Hey, Sharonda. Okay, we got a few more. DoorDash and eating out is a budget buster. I cannot stress this enough. If you've ever ordered something from DoorDash and it came to like $30 and then you went to the restaurant and it was like $12, that's because it is more expensive when you order off DoorDash, Uber Eats, all of that. So keep that in mind when you're ordering out. There's this thing called the freshman 15 where you pretty much most of the freshmen gain 15 pounds. Everybody gets that. So don't contribute to your freshman 15 or your freshman 10 or whatever it is by eating DoorDash, spending all your money. You can't call home. Your mom just sent you $50 yesterday. Where'd the money go? No. Okay. So get it together. And, if you are sending your student with a car, parents, make sure that cars are allowed for freshmen and be conscientious of the car that they're taking. If they're taking a bucket, a car that's not really reliable, that they're not going to be able to maintain, they're not going to be able to pay the insurance on it, keep that in mind before you send your students. And then the last thing that I want to talk about for our graduating seniors is in life, whatever you look for, you'll find. Okay. And that's anywhere you go. If you go to a job, if you go to a program, if you go to college and you're looking for nonsense, you're looking to party and have a good time and that's it. You're looking to get into whatever you can get into, that's what you're going to find. But if you're looking for good things, if you're looking to grow, if you're looking to stretch yourself, if you're looking to become a well-rounded adult, if you're looking to learn how to think critically and solve problems and be able to maintain your lifestyle after your parents tell you, look, it's time for you to go, that's what you'll find as well. Okay, so don't think that just because you're going to college, you won't be able to find the nonsense, because nonsense is everywhere. Okay, don't think just because you're starting a job, you won't be able to find nonsense. Nonsense is everywhere. Whatever you're looking for, that's what you're going to find. Okay, So I hope you enjoyed this Money Monday. I really want you to really consider what I said. Take what you need and use what you can. Share this video with graduating seniors. Let them know, like, life comes at you fast. And I've been out of high school. I'm not going to tell you how long, but I've been out of high school for a couple years. And life came at a lot of people fast. And I really feel like it's because they were not prepared for life, right? They didn't have a plan. They really didn't know. And even myself, there are things that I've experienced in my life that I never thought that I would experience so quickly. So take this to heart. Thank you for joining. I hope you all enjoy Money Monday, and I'll talk to you later. Don said I did not sound like an old lady. Thank you very much. I try my hardest. I love you guys. Have a good night. Bye.